With me, Eastern Michigan University Women's Eagles coach for golf, Josh Brewer. Josh, you just completed your first season, taking over for a legend this year, and you're making this program your own. What's the state of the program address?
Yeah, we feel like we've made major progress. Of course, disappointed that we weren't playing in the NCAA regional and at a national championship, but that's the goals you got to have to continue to move forward. But again, we feel like recruiting's gone really well. We have an amazing foundation in place, and now it's the next step we have to take here over the summer as they compete, and then starting in the fall.
And there you have it. You have a young crew. Your team was filled with underclassmen this year. Savannah DeBach, she did make the NCAA regionals and got a taste of big time tournament golf. And you must really be proud. Kind of give us, uh, tell us a little bit about some of the players that you've had on your roster that you feel like you're going to be building around coming up into this upcoming season.
Yeah, you mentioned Savannah. I mean, the fall she had is, it might go down in program history 20 years from now. It was a very special 2 months of golf, and the spring was, not that same level, but still a really good first year for her in Eastern or at Eastern Michigan, and now she has to build on that, and it's our job to get players here that will reach her level from there. And she has a busy summer, so we know she'll continue to get better and improve. Then a couple players we brought in January, Arena Tan from Australia, who's a freshman and had a really, really good, first semester in college. And I think she's going to be an important foundation for us and a piece that we're going to, lean on as she becomes a sophomore, junior. But she's kind of been a nice surprise. She was supposed to go to a much different school, but some things fell through. So we're very happy she ended up at Eastern Michigan for us. And then we played the NGI tournament at the end of the year. It's for people out there. It's like the NIT for basketball or a bowl game for football. And there,
Yeah, I saw
Angelica,
that down in Arizona.
yeah, Angelica Holman, who won the junior college national championship, and I'd signed at Georgia, won it as an individual. So it's a very, kind of shows her talents. And I think she's from South Florida. So I think maybe the January through March portion of Michigan, she needs to adjust to, as she becomes a senior and important piece for us next year.
Yeah. Now, the NCAA with the agreement, I think you're capped at 9 players going forward. Are you planning on filling all those spots?
Well, when we film this, who knows? There might be no cap, there might be nine. It's it's hard because as of today, there is no cap. It's been removed again. So we're just kind of up in the air what that's going to be. We're planning as there will be no cap because, again, we signed 4 players. We're still recruiting players, and I expect to have 10 or 11 on our roster come fall. And again, I hope they don't have a cap because then I got some very difficult conversations ahead of me this summer.
Yeah, and that's something all the coaches are saying, Josh, is that they have student athletes they like to bring on their rosters. And with this number, I was told 9, but if it's not 9, you would know far more than me. But now, as far as like we're not going to talk anything about players because we can't. If they're not signed, can't talk. But do you can some of the student athletes do they send you like videotapes, maybe like a resume, or come see me at the AJGA or what a GAM, the US, one of the GAM tournaments or something like that? How do they get in touch with someone like you?
Just call or email me, and if I can respond back, I will respond. I don't. To me, if there's a young person out there taking the time to write me a message or reach out to me, I'll respond back. Now, it might be, I'm sorry, our recruiting class is full. We're out of scholarship money. It might be, I'm excited to see you somewhere this summer. I think it's important for the individuals writing that. One, I hope the young person does, and it's not mom or dad writing
Yeah.
it. It's just a good way to learn. And then two, they need to make sure they put their graduation year in there because that's very important for how we respond back.
Oh, okay.
And then always include a schedule, like a summer schedule. There's some things that as I receive emails that I was like, oh, that date is here, not here. And I kind of tweak my summer schedule and rework it based on, again, these players telling me where they're at because we'll try to attend
Yeah.
um,
Yeah,
there.
to me that's a teaser for what I'll have when I post this interview. It's very important that a student athlete knows how to get a hold of a coach and that they will respond, even if it's can't be the answer or you're full or whatever the case might be. One of the things I was really impressed and also really surprised about was your schedule this year. I mean, you played all over the country, including Hawaii, and holy smokes. What made you decide to do a schedule that you basically did from the East Coast all the way to the islands?
Well, year one, it was trying just to get into tournaments because the schedule we had and the players like a Savannah we had on the roster, we just felt like the competition, we needed to try to raise it to a higher level and just worked every connection I had when I took the job to rework the schedule. And so it's kind of piecemealed together a little bit, but at the same time, it's golf needs to be played in hopefully sunshine, and if not sunshine, at least green grass. So we have to, take a few months out of the year and sneak away from Michigan to find find those opportunities there. But it's a very common schedule for northern schools, and we'll continue to do it next year as well. As we're going to Hawaii again, we're going to Mexico, we will go to Los Angeles, we'll go to Palm Desert. So it's going to be a very fun schedule. So come play for us if you like to see the world and have suntans in March.
Yeah, and then the NCAA regional is usually in a really nice spot too, and I know that you're planning on doing that next year for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's one right down the road from us. I don't know if everyone on this that is part of Eastern thinks Ann Arbor is a very nice spot. So
I think that's next year, right? Isn't Ann
yeah, that's
Arbor the regional and then state again? And this year was Ohio State. The As far as your any schedule for next year, are you going to host a tournament locally next year, or are you going to be on the road when you play that?
um we'll probably be on the road. We've explored hosting something in April and more of an individual versus a team tournament.
Mhm.
And I just feel like we need another year or two to really build out our schedule correctly. And because at the end of the day, rankings determine who gets in postseason if you don't win
Sure.
your conference championship. So hosting at home, I'd love to do it for our players, our seniors. And again, we might do an individual tournament instead of a team tournament.
Well,
Just
you probably yeah, I mean, and of course, all pretty much all the schools do host something, and so even if you played in someone else's, but hey, where you play is where you play. I was just very impressed. I was like, if it would be nice if it was 40 years ago, and we won't go any further. I mean, just being a young lady and saying you can play in Hawaii, you can play in California, you can play in Mexico, holy smokes, I got a great game. I got to call Josh. So, that kind of thing. Or,
well, that's what
have Josh come out and come take a look at me.
the event in Mexico we're hosting with Lorena Ochoa. She has her name on the tournament. So
Yeah.
we're the host school. And then the one in Los Angeles, us in Southern California are co-hosting together, and Game Above is putting most of the bill for it. So it's
Yeah.
they're trying to do everything they can to help us elevate our program.
That's fantastic. In Southern Cal, as you know, I believe they're in the final eight after looking at the scores, after day four of the tournament, of the NCAA finals. And one final question is that Kent State has basically ruled the MAC for a long time as far as winning postseason tournaments and that. Uh, what do you think? You're a year or two away from really challenging on that, but that they have to be the building block you're looking to topple. I mean, every school has to be thinking that.
Yeah, in the conference, they are the school you have to beat. And Casey's done an amazing job there. And the people before him, again, talk about building a foundation of almost 3 decades. They've done that. They're as young as us. So to say, oh yeah, we're going to beat them next year. It's a little arrogant on my part. We feel like
You got to do it before you can say it.
yeah, and we feel like the recruits we have coming in, we're going to be very close to on par on paper, but you still have to tee it up, and that's why we're building our schedule to make regionals. But we we know we'll have that opportunity in front of us very soon, and it's going to be sweet when it happens. And probably a very big story, not only in the MAC or in Michigan, but probably all of college golf because I think it's the longest running conference champion. Maybe I'd like to know if it's in any sport, let alone just women's golf. I mean, that's
Yeah.
something I probably should know, but no, they've done a good job, and it's just our job to get to that level.
Well, and that's all fantastic. So it looks like your team, you've really built them out. You've done a terrific job in year one. Looks like you got some building blocks, and it's nice when your best player, Savannah, is going to be just a junior this year, so she should be around for at least 2 more years. And the way these college athletes, you go, well, they got junior and senior year, but the way things go and red shirts and all these different things, you just never know how things are going to work out. But it's been a true pleasure that you're here, Josh, and getting to talk about the Eagles program. Anything you'd like to add that I haven't asked?
No, I appreciate the support and everyone being patient with us in Michigan, and just because we're trying to learn the state along the way, and individuals like yourself, I appreciate you letting us just talk about what we're trying to achieve. And if people have questions, again, go to our website, reach out to me, and I will respond in some way. It might take a day or two, but I'll do my best to get back to you. I don't care if you're a parent, a child, or just a fan. So if you can help us spread the word, I appreciate it. So as I always say, go Eagles.
And there you go. Go Eagles. All right. With that, Josh Brewer, you have an awesome time, and we'll look forward to posting this. And may you find some future lady or women's Eagle players. And I'm sure that you'll do just that, and you'll get that nest feather. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.